What up, Zeshen?
What's up, man? How you doing, Mikey?
How's it going, bro?
Chilling, man. Doing good. How are you?
I think your Wi-Fi might be a little off, huh?
You think so? Is it
No,
is
it's
it off?
working good.
Okay. How's it now?
Good, bro.
Yo, so what's the deal, man? How you been?
I've been pretty good though, bro. I've been following you for a while. I seen your footwork. I've been following Havik and Koro since when did Havik and Koro start? Like in '99?
Yeah. Officially joined in '99. They've
Yeah.
been around before that as separate crews, but
Okay.
'99 when they got together and they did Alpha Fame and Freestyle Session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
So
been following. Yeah, I've been following Havik and Koro since then. Actually, I know pretty much. I know Mario.
yeah,
I know
yeah,
Marlon. I know Little John. I know Palmer. Um, who else is in Havik and Koro? Kurt.
yeah. Yes, there's a
Yeah,
bunch of.
so I interviewed. Yeah, I interviewed Kurt, Marlon, and Mario, and I thought about you because I was like, "Yo, Zeshen though, he got a unique style though, bro. When I see your footwork, it's so different that it's like, where did that style come from though, bro? I've never seen people do footwork like you before. You know, it kind of reminds me of like Japan Rock Steady, but like with more soulful new twist to it because your foundation is solid. You know, it's not like all over the place. I see you do your, but then you add in like your little musicality, bro. And I want to know like where did you get that style from? Like how'd you get inspired?
Well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the love, bro. Cause you
Yes.
know, in my mind, it's always like it's like I don't know like what I'm doing sometimes. Like I don't know if I'm
Okay.
like because I got certain standards on where I should be with my style. So I'm always trying to reach
Okay.
like some styles that in my mind is like that's perfection. But I know like you can't really
Yeah.
attain that in real life. But yeah, man, like I got influenced by really a lot of like just original Texas b-boys, man. Like my crew mainly, like Lil Jon, Rudy Rex.
Yeah.
Some of my biggest inspirations starting off as far as footwork. And then later on, like I started training with people like Wicked, who lives in
Oh,
Texas.
nice.
He's been actually living in Texas for quite a long time. And so we
Mm-hmm.
started training together back in like '08. Um, and I started breaking like in '99. So I grew up watching the whole era of originality, man. So I always had that as the first thing I learned in the back of my mind. Like whatever you do, you got to come original. Like
Right.
you got to have your own flavor. And so I started off actually doing just my own stuff without a lot of foundation. Like it took me a long time to look presentable in my breaking. So even though I started so
Mm.
early, people didn't see me or hear about me probably till like 9 or 10 years after I actually started dancing. But
Oh, okay.
because it took me so long to actually learn the foundation. Because when I started in Texas, there wasn't a lot of people that show me that stuff. So it
I
wasn't until like
know.
yeah. So it wasn't until like '05, '06 that I started learning the foundation. And so it's just been like
Mm.
stacking on originality and then original foundation, like tradition, but then always trying to merge the two in like a tasteful way. I guess that's where I'm trying to come from.
Okay.
Uh,
And I want to ask you, is your background, what's your background, meaning your nationality?
yeah, I'm ethnically Chinese, man. I'm Chinese American.
Oh, Chinese American. Okay.
Yeah, I was actually born in China, but I immigrated here when I was real young. I left China when I was 5, and I actually moved to San Juan, Puerto Rico, for like
Oh,
my childhood. I lived there for 4 years, and then I came to Texas. So I'm a U.S. citizen now, but I'm originally born in another country. Yeah.
Beijing.
Nah, I was born north of that. It's a city called Changchun. It's like way up north. It's
Okay.
it's like close to Russia
Oh,
almost.
okay.
So it's real cold. But I don't remember. I don't remember a whole lot from back then. I only lived there. I lived there till I was 5, so I was just a toddler till I moved.
I got you. So I noticed that though you're a doctor, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I practice as a psychiatrist, so that's a
Psychiatrist.
doctor. So that's a medical doctor that specializes in mental health, mental illness, and I work at a
Mm,
psychiatric hospital currently. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, okay. That's cool. So the whole time when you were dancing, you was going to school at the same time.
Pretty much, man. Like I was never
That
like
was smart though, bro. That's smart.
yeah, yeah. Like I'm a full time like this how I look at it. Like I'm a b-boy, like for life. You know what I mean? Like I'm a b-boy per by philosophy, but I'm not a full time like competition b-boy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, okay. I got you.
I've always had to split that time with school. So from '05 I went to college, and then it's like 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, and then
Mm.
uh, I got my MD after medical school. That was in 2013, and then I spent 4 years in specialty training. So
Oh man. Okay.
that's like learning how to be my specialist in psychiatry. So that took me 4 years of residency. So now it's been like 3 years since I've completed all of that. So I've been like
Mm.
out practicing for the past 3 years since 2017. Yeah.
Right, right. So that's a solid backup. Not even a backup, but I mean like when once you kind of like whatever with breaking, like you have a legitimate like
Yeah.
career instead
Yeah,
of
man. I
just being
mean,
like a b-boy like kind of bouncing around like, oh, I think I'm gonna try to break 30
yeah.
years and maybe I'll win a contest, Red Bull.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like I wouldn't say it's like it is my career. Like medicine is my career because breaking for me, I never really thought about doing it like for money. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
maybe the cross thought like the thought crossed my mind in the beginning, like, oh, I could like travel around, but I never thought about doing it like full time. I always thought like
Mm,
I wanna get a job, so breaking for me is gonna be only for the love. Like
exactly.
I know, and big respect to the people that do it professionally. I think that's like that's huge. That's dedication and investment, and it shows their love for the art. But for me, like I'd rather just have it be like a very relaxing, like personal thing. Like always, I don't want it to ever feel like I'm stressed out trying to
Yeah.
see myself, doing that.
Yeah. And then on top of that, possibly getting injured and not being able to break, but still don't even have
Oh
a
yeah,
job. And now it's like you're injured and you're stuck.
right, right, yeah. So for many reasons, man, like that's just my personal choice. You know what I mean? Like big ups
Right,
to
right,
everybody
right. I
else
got
that,
you.
that does it their way. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. So Zeshen, like what is the name Zeshen mean? I know it has to have a meaning to it. What does Zeshen
Zeshen's
mean?
man, it's my real name, bro. That's just the name my parents gave me. It's
It's not a
Chinese.
philosophy behind it? Yeah.
Nah, like it's Chinese. It's really my Chinese name is two characters. Like each character in Chinese, the written language is like one syllable. So
Okay.
my full name in Chinese is three syllables. It's Wu Zeshen. So that's how you say it. And
Oh,
my
okay.
last name is Wu. So um Zeshen is just me putting those two together. Like when I came here, my parents, they never bothered to give me an English name. They're real traditional, so they were like, just keep his name. So luckily my name, like, it came out okay. Like it translated okay.
Mm.
Like you could say it in you could pronounce it, and it's not too bad. I got, there's a lot of Chinese names that have like X's and stuff in it. It's hard to pronounce. So I lucked out.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So I just
true.
kept it, man. As far as what it means, uh, there's not really any deep meaning to it. I say deep, but it's funny enough that one of the characters means deep, literally means deep. So,
Oh, okay.
but the other one is just like it's just like a family name. So it really doesn't have like a real meaning to it. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, I got you. I got you. You know, possession. I notice most people like when they break, especially kind of like from like an Asian background, they really focus on power. But it seemed like you're the opposite. Like you focus more on style. and
Yeah.
footwork. So what made you want to like do that instead of just trying to be like a straight up power dude?
Man, well, first of all, I think like a lot of that is very regional. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
Yeah,
a lot of b-boys that were in Asia that at a certain time, like we're talking like early 2000, it was just I don't know why that was just a trend. It was to do power. You know what
expressions,
I'm saying?
crew,
Yeah,
expressions.
yeah. But you know, like if I were to be real about it, you know, like when I was coming up, there were a lot of like Filipinos and stuff like in the U.S. doing that style too. You know, like um, but why I did footwork personally, man, is mainly because man, that's just what inspired me, bro. Like
Mm,
when I started off, I did do power. You know, I got like flares, windmills, you know, like transitions. I even used to do like elbow air tracks and stuff. This was like when I was like 15, you know, like it was like 2001 and shit. But um, for one, I was never like great at it. You know what I mean? Like, if you one thing, if I was like
okay.
supernatural, like have power, you know, and I just got it real quick. But I had it, but I wasn't like the best at it. Like it, I did it just because I thought being able to do it was cool, but I wasn't like hardcore trying to be like a power head. Like while I was training my power when I started out, I was still learning footwork, and I just realized that was just more fun for me, you know. So, um, and now it's just that's just how I feel like the best way to express myself. You know, like I just feel more comfortable dancing in that way. You know, so.
Mm,
Um, I decided to go for that. And then later on, you know, like when I really started dedicating myself to it, like I found more reasons to do it because personally, I found it as a different type of challenge, you know, because there are some moves like back when I used to do power and blow ups, it'd be like okay, like people get impressed by it, you know what I'm saying, like just because that's how hard the move is. But then I would see people kill it, man, like like classic footage of like Ken Swift or Wiggles, or somebody like Kane Mel,
yeah.
LeBron, like they would do something so simple, it's like something anybody could do, but for some reason, the way they did it hyped up the whole crowd. Like they were able to hype up and get a reaction out of people watching by doing something that everybody can do. And to me, I was like, man,
Mm,
that to me is like even harder. It's even harder to do that than to impress people by just doing something really difficult, like
mm-hmm.
physical, right? um so I was like, dang, like these guys are advancing. Like what makes their stuff difficult is the mental aspect. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
what I mean, like they're impressing people because of their mind, like how they thought of the idea and how they executed it and how they how they became show their personality and character, like just through that. And so I was like, man, that's like a different level. So that really inspired me to just try to do that. So there was a time where I kind of made it a point to just try to do that as much as I can. Like I want to get the dopest reaction, and blow it
Mm,
up by doing the easiest thing that I could think of.
yeah.
And to me, like not easy like to think of, but just easy like physically, right? It doesn't take like a whole lot
Mm-hmm.
of training just to execute it, but it takes a lot of thinking to do it just right to get that reaction.
The details.
Yeah, the detail. So that was like my personal like challenge. Like, okay, I wanna follow that path and see how far it takes me. So
Right. Who's some of the footwork guys that inspired you like in the past or like in the present? For me, who I like back in the day, I have to say Ken Swift. Like in the
yeah,
'90s,
yeah.
Kenny's can go both ways. Flowmaster,
Mhm.
um, and then also the guys from Florida too, like Elmo from Street Masters.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That dude was racking up forward contests is like nothing, bro.
yeah, man, for sure, bro.
Dino, and then Dino Rock from out here, San Diego.
Oh yeah, yeah, Dino, man, that dude's so dope. Like he's one of my favorite like recent cats that I just learned about. Because I didn't hear about him when I was coming up, but I
Mm.
battled him I battled him at
Yeah, I seen that.
contest. Yeah,
Master Monkeys.
that was a great battle, man. And I had just connected with him actually a few weeks before that event, when he came to Houston for it was for like a Red Bull BC One. finals, and he was just there in town, and we had actually like
Okay.
connected and got down a little bit just in the ciphers, you know, like friendly. And then yeah, man, we met up in the finals, man. It was dope, bro. That was a tough one. But yeah, man, I think he got that, bro. Like I think he deserved it, you know.
Yeah.
Um but as far as other dudes that inspire me like over the years, man, I just have to I still have to stick it to just the people that I've been
Mm.
influenced by, you know, like people that I've seen in person and who I've trained with in person. So like Lil Jon, of course, is a big one.
Oh yeah,
Rudy
Little John
Rex,
for sure. Yeah, Rudy.
Rudy Rex, Wicked. You know, those are probably like my big three. Um, the people that I've seen on footage and well, not all the time, but you know, I met these people and trained with them before, like Flowmaster. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he was big. But you know, there was a period of time where you know people like Born, they were like blowing up.
Oh
Shit.
yes.
So
Born
when
in
I saw that, I was like,
2006,
okay,
bro. Born in 2006 was bananas though,
yeah,
bro. For me,
mhm.
Born to me, he brought back that feeling of like footwork and win a contest.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
He was so getting the footwork, bro.
Yeah, you know, that whole era was kind of like it brought a lot of footwork cats out. You know, in fact,
Everybody.
everybody was trying to dance like that for a while.
Yeah, I got
Um,
excited. I was like, yo, they doing Rocksteady style again?
yeah,
I was like, I could do that. And like Born got me pumped.
right.
He just brought it, he made it more cool to do footwork.
Yeah. So that was like '06.
To
Yeah,
06.
'06 ish. So actually, like the way I like to think about it is like when I started really coming out. You know, I've already been dancing for quite a few years, but when I actually started going to events and getting my name out, I was trying to like bring a new original like vibe to that like resurgence of traditional footwork because
Mm,
that's what I thought was happening. Like when I was looking at footage from like '06 to '07, even like mid '08, everybody was trying to dance like that Bronx style, which
yeah.
was, I mean, it's dope that they were going back, but it was like everybody was trying to do the same thing for a while. And so I was like, I'm gonna take that foundation, but I'm gonna bring that like that Texas twist, that take it back to '90s originality. And so I would say that's like the type of movement I was trying to bring out when I really started like getting noticed, you know, like for competitions and stuff.
Hmm.
Before that, I was really just like a super local dude, man. I was just training in Texas, you know, with my friends and you know, just taking it real slow, you know. But yeah, I definitely was dancing like when I first started traveling around and people would see me. It was like probably like '09. I already been dancing for like 10 years. I
Oh,
just learned
okay.
real slow, man. I was not like a super quick dude that blew up, you know, like the other people in my crew. Like I always think like, man, these guys are like dope since day one. You know, to me
Mm,
at least, like Moy and Rudy and John and them, like to me, they were like, man, they were dope since day one. They've been dancing for like 4 or 5 years and they're already doing freestyle session. And I
okay.
was never like that, man. I took my time to. It took me, or I didn't take my time. It took me a long time. I should say.
Yeah.
So
That's dope, man. When it comes to the West Coast session, like who do you like as far as like B-boys crews though? Like that you think that are dope in your mind when we thinking about California?
man, well, you know, there's of course different generations of crews that have made a name out of the West Coast, bro. Like Style Elements, for sure. You know, those. You know, I would say that era was a big inspiration for me too. Like Remind and you know and all them, bringing that original kind of flavor. There was a whole era, man. That whole era of crews was just like what I grew up on. Style Elements,
Hmm.
Boogie Brats, Skill Methods, Have a Koro, you know. But you know, Renegades, you know, those are big inspirations to me. Um, you know, more recently, let me think. Um, I mean, dang, you know, those dudes in Cypher State, like Dino and those and his crew,
Oh yeah.
I think they're sick. You know, their whole crew is sick. Like his family, right? Like it's like his stepkid,
Yeah.
and so there, I really took notice to those guys. You know, who else? I'm having a hard time thinking, man. I'm sure there's other people that I'm missing, man. But,
Rock Forest.
yeah, Rock Forest. Oh hell yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna tell
definitely.
you about Rock Forest though, bro. Rock Forest, early '90s though, bro. There was Style Elements rivalry. It was
Yeah,
always Rock Forest versus Style Elements.
yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
when Earl got involved. This is when Iron Monkey got down.
Yeah,
Like once Iron Monkey and Joe got down, bro. Like in Vietnam, Rock Forest was like it really. The name really meant that Rock Forest. It was like a force though, bro. It was hard to beat that crew though, bro,
for real.
because you had Monkey that mastered the air flares, and then you had Joe. What he can do, he was doing the one hand scissor hop thing though too, and he
Yeah.
can do like all types of stuff though. Joe was just like,
Hmm.
and they took Joe to overseas and enter Battle of the Year '98, and
Yeah,
that's the first
yeah,
time
man.
Joe won overseas. On they won '98, they won Battle of the Year right after Style Elements won '97.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are legends, man. Rest in peace to
Yeah.
ones that are gone. Cause, but yo, yeah, Rockford was one of the first crews I ever saw, man. Cause
Mm-hmm.
the year, like literally, like the year or 2 years after I started, one of the first pieces of footage I saw was Battle of the Year '98. Um,
Yeah.
or was it? It's like '98 or '99. I forgot which one they were in, but um, that was like straight up, like one of the first times I've seen b-boys on tape, So, uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, West Coast, dude, they're props to the West Coast, man. There's always been, you know, from Texas, there was an era where we really like exchanged with the West Coast, like crews are coming up at the same time, and like Style Elements were like uh, the people that we looked up to, some of the people in the '90s Texas generation look up to
Mm-hmm.
too, and Poe One, Remind, especially, like for me, like they're big inspirations, man. And Poe was one of the few people, that had noticed me and would like give me props, and stuff, Um, I also met Ariston too, years back too.
Oh,
He was mad cool. So
you know who was really to you, Jeremy? What's happening, Jeremy? Was
oh,
Nightcrawler,
that boy Jeremy in the house. Yeah, Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, dude, he was nasty, and yeah,
Oh
nasty power.
shit, Nightcrawler did some shit though, bro. Like
Yeah,
I flew with this windmill, air track, catch a 90 and spin like 5 or 6 times. Hella clean though, bro.
yeah, he was nasty. The fun, what's funny? I never really like got to know him. When I started like really getting into the scene, and traveling even within Texas, Nightcrawler, he already like kind of phased out. He was
Oh yeah,
uh, around the scene that much, and it's been a
United
long
B Boys.
time actually. Yeah, it's been a long time that he's been
Mm-hmm.
absent from the scene. I mean, he shows up every once in a while, but his active years were actually, this was quite a long time ago, man. It was like an early 2000s days,
Yeah,
straight up.
yeah.
Even
I
even
think
after like the mid 2000s, he wasn't really around. So,
right. I think around the time that you were kind of coming up into it, I remember Alien Squad Grimies
yeah.
and Alien Squad and Jive Turkeys.
Yes. Yes. Jive
Jive
Turkeys.
Turkeys.
I used to live in Dallas, Texas. That's where Jive
Mm.
Turkeys were. And one of the first dudes that I ever met, like, this is like 2002, 2003. One of the first like b-boys that were known in Texas that I personally became friends with was Jin. This dude named Jin from Jack
Oh,
Turkey.
Jen. Yeah, whatever happened to Jen, bro?
He's still around, man. He's still around. He doesn't break much anymore, but he's he's just doing his thing. And so when I moved to Austin, this was like '05. Um, that's where Alien Squad and Grimies were.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dirty. Remember Dirty?
Dirty, yeah, Dirty, rest in peace. Dirty was living in Houston. Yeah, but Blitz, you remember Blitz?
Yes.
Yeah, he was around then in Austin.
And I remember Blast too, Havik Koro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know my Havik Koro history, bro.
Yeah, dude. Blast is one of our founders, man. He lives right down the street from me, really.
Oh,
Go over
really?
yeah, before the lockdown and stuff, I would go over and play poker with him. But yeah, he's still around, man. He's like involved in just this is just his family. Um,
Oh, so he's not really dancing as much.
well, he does dance. Like all of us still dance. But you know, once a lot of people get older, you know,
Yeah.
it's just like we dance without really needing a spotlight. You know, dance without really needing
Mm.
to like be out in the scene to like
Yeah.
how to show everybody and compete, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
everybody still dances, you know, but it's like in your garage, you know what I mean? Like, or we get together at somebody's
That's
place.
where it started.
Yeah. So a lot of like the first generation of Havik, you know, they're definitely still dancing, man, but it's, you know, I don't think a lot of people are hearing about them, you know, because they don't really put themselves out there. They don't need to, you know, it's every
Mm.
once in a while, maybe, you know, but it's all good, you know? So that's dope, man. Yeah. Blas, Mario, definitely.
Yeah. Blast Mario Boy.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Boy.
Can't forget about Boy, bro.
Uh, boy's like, you know, he's like, I've done everything that I need to do already.
Oh,
He's like, I did my job in breaking, and that's
I
a
know he
that's
did
a
though, bro. He
yeah.
did.
He's just I'm gonna close the book on that chapter and move on. That's how he is. But
He's pretty much he's a Christian though, right? He's a youth. He's a pastor.
yeah, it's been a while since I talked to Boy too, man. But last time I talked to him, he was like doing his pastor thing. You know, he had like a church he was a pastor for in South Houston. I don't know if he still does that or he's in somewhere else. But yeah,
I
yeah,
think he was trying to. Last time I spoke to him, he was saying he was trying to do like an app for b-boys.
yes. Man, we probably talked to him around the same time, which is a long time ago.
I know my Havik and Koro history, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
You
Yeah.
scratching your head like, how does he know this?
Hey, what's up, man? You do your research, man. You do your homework.
Yeah, bro. Like I've been following the whole Texas things, United B-boys, Flavor to Burn. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
Boy when he was like 13. All those guys, they were
yeah.
like LA young big boy Adidas fans,
Uh-huh.
and they would come out here to LA, and I would see them. And Little John was just on fire, though, bro. I remember they had a battle at the B-boy summit. It was Little John and Marlon versus Bebe and Boo Rock.
Ooh, man. Yeah, I could imagine that.
Bro, it got physical, bro. It got physical, bro.
How we used to
Because Little
get,
John
man.
wasn't taking it yet. Little John pushed Bebe, like, he pushed him.
I mean, that's just how things used to get, bro. Like mad heated in Texas too. Just even amongst crews here,
Yeah.
heated, man. Like people be pushing each other, mad fights, pushing each other. Like um, the first jam I ever went to, like
B-Boy City?
nah, like this was something else. This was like in
Okay.
Dallas in like 2000 something, 2001, 2002. Maybe yeah. There was a brawl that broke out. Like just first big jam that you know I ever found myself in. You know, it's like there you go. You know, that's the close
Mm.
at that time at least. Things have chilled out a lot, man. I mean, things change, bro. But, yeah, but you
Yeah.
know, there's still a lot of fire in Texas, man. New generation coming up, man. Rock all day crew. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, I never heard of them.
oh yeah, yeah, man. They're making a lot of noise. You know, like a new generation Houston crew. Um, you know, you got dudes like you know, just all over, man. Hazardous Zombies, The Brothers, Jungle
Oh,
Brothers,
okay.
Take It Easy, you know. So there's definitely a lot of talent and a lot of names that are gonna be made, I think, from the state up and coming.
Who was that? Oh, Vicious Germs.
Vicious Germs, yep. VG, yeah. Used to battle them.
Charles.
Man, I used to battle them all the time. Vicious Germs. They will go to every jam, man, and all the competitions. Yeah. Um, for sure, man. Vicious Germs.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, Charles was a hothead in Vicious Germs.
Yeah, yeah. Charles. Um, dang, you know,
Very cocky though, bro.
um,
Okay.
Charles was like he was ahead of his time, man. He was doing some tricks like that
Yeah.
people are just starting to do. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
one handed air tracks and stuff like that. It was crazy.
And Masters of Mayhem too.
Yeah, I love Masters of Mayhem.
Forgot about them. Yeah, Milky and all those dudes. Yeah, they're from
Milky,
Dallas though, right?
Steve, Sticka. They're from the valley. They're from the Texas Mexico border, so they're all the way down south.
Oh,
Yeah, and so you know it was so dope though, because it's like that's why they got all that fire in them. It's like they're out there, they're like isolated. So they don't really have like a whole lot going on. As far as like hip hop down there, they gotta like get together and just like just create out of nothing. So they definitely came through with like some really dope styles, man. So shout out to Masters of Mayhem, man. Like those guys are always cool. Like, and rest in peace, Crisis. But
yeah.
Sticka, Curly, Keeves, um, Milky, all those guys, my homies.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, Zeshan, how do you feel about like today's scene though? Like with all the new like the rebel guys and everything. How do you feel about that today's generation?
I mean, it is what it is. It's an evolution. Like things have to change.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's more opportunities than ever. There's more exposure than ever. There's more money to be
Oh,
made
yeah,
than ever. Um, and there's more organization than ever. There's more like actual um, corporations and entertainment corporations that actually take an interest in breaking. As a
yeah.
form of industry. So I can only imagine that there's going to be a lot of growth, but there's also going to be a lot of changes. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
anytime something gets a little commercialized, it changes the infrastructure of
mm-hmm.
the culture in a way, and that could be for good or bad. I can't say it's going to be good or bad. I just know it's going to be different.
I think it's going to be different too with the
Yeah.
situation that the virus that nobody's going to be able to get in big numbers.
Right. Right.
So they're gonna start live streaming everything without an
Yeah.
audience, which is gonna be weird.
Yeah. 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 But I guess I'm talking more about changes to like what we have always taken for granted as like just cultural,
Mm,
cultural. I guess what's the word, like values in the culture.
mm-hmm.
Because for something like breaking to be marketable, it has to be better understood. And
Oh yeah.
in just my personal opinion, like art in its purity is never super marketable. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like you don't
yeah.
see like millionaire dancers out there really that are just doing it like pure style. They have to do something
I
where
know.
an audience like understands it. And in breaking, I think right now what people are trying to market is battles, because there's
Mm-hmm.
like a competitive aspect to it. There's like a sports aspect to it. But what I can foresee happening, again, this is just my personal opinion, is like the more they try to do that, the more they have to make it digestible to the public, which means like how do you judge then something that is so subjective? It's very easy to market something like basketball because it's like, oh, they score more points. I easily understand that. I can pick which team I root for because I know what's going on in this game, you know.
Mm,
But in breaking, it's like, and I heard stories that this is what happened in some countries, like in Asia, like Korea, where a lot of the fans were like, I don't know why this crew lost or why this crew won. You know, it
mm.
takes too much learning to get into the culture of the art. You know what I'm saying? For like an average person to really get that. And so what ends up happening, I think, is that you make up some judging criteria, to make it very easily digestible. And then, of course, this may or may not have happened yet, but my pessimistic ass is only going to predict that it's going to be like based on moves, right? It's easy to see
Mm.
that, oh, this guy spun more. Like this guy jumped higher.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
then what about bites? You know, how do you even put
Mm.
that in the equation, right? Like which sport, say like which commercial sport out there has a rule that says, well, you can't do the same thing the other team did. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
you can't
yeah.
do this. So it doesn't work out if you really want to make it like as objective as you can. right? It doesn't work out
Mm-hmm.
to include the concept of biting. So what I think is going to happen is it's just going to go out the window, right? So that's just one
Mm.
example of like a cultural value that we as artists has this unwritten rule about, that we grew up just knowing, like that's street, that's like that's street rules, right? You just don't bite somebody's move. But when you actually put it in a realm where this art can be commercialized, and you gotta, like, package it in a form that's easily digestible, you kind of have to get rid of it, because it's just
Mm.
adding in factors that make judging really confusing to people. So that's just one example of me just having my own like reservations about some of the things that I can foresee happening, right? Like it's like biting and some of this stuff, and outwitting people in a battle, and just having like that street like style to it. I value that, man. Like that's one of the reasons why I found this whole thing so appealing. But I can just see that going away because it just doesn't have a place when it comes to like,
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying, like Olympic breaking, like nobody's gonna go
Mm.
out there and look like a stick up kid, and try to play that
That's
character,
what I was thinking. Yeah.
and then burn somebody and then call somebody out for a bite. In a cipher battle, sometimes just doing that will win you the whole battle. It's about like what you say, you know. But when you're judging, it's like they'll be like, "Well, he didn't do anything. That was all like I'll give him like 1 point for, character embellishment, but everything else is like
Hmm.
nothing, So
Yeah. Zeshen, I was thinking the same thing too. Like when if it becomes commercialized and it goes to Olympics, it's like you're gonna strip off the raw b-boy. And how do you judge when a kid does a move and he goes like this,
right, right,
or when he goes like this? How the judge is
right.
gonna look at that?
So I mean, again, it's gonna happen. I'm not saying we should stop it. It's not my place to say that, you know. But I'm just pointing out that those are some of the things that I personally like. I sign up for when I started breaking. Like that's the stuff that I love. That I sign up for that. That now
Okay.
isn't really the main things that are perpetuating. That's not being like
Mm.
carried forward. So, but it's cool, man, because I say it's cool because I have a privilege, right? Like I speak from a position of privilege. I don't dance for a living. I don't depend on this. So I can be a purist
Okay.
if I want to be. You know what I'm saying? But there's people out there
Mm.
that are like, look, I gotta jump on this Olympic shit. Like I gotta take these opportunities, and if they want me to dance like that, then I will. And I'm gonna have to make it work, and make it real, true to the game, but also make it work, and respect to
Mm.
that. But I'm just gonna have
Okay.
to see what happens, right?
Hmm.
So, and
Yeah.
again,
Just
like
I
my
think
crew, they
for
depend on
sure.
that.
Yeah. I think you hit it. I think you hit it right on the nail. I just got one more question to ask you before I go because I gotta jump on with somebody from Chile.
Okay.
My question to you is like, with the COVID situation though, like how you think it's gonna really affect like breaking because there ain't gonna be no contests until possibly next year.
Yeah. Man, I don't know, bro. That's a hard question because even, myself in the medical field, it's like there's so many different perceptions about it. There's so many different uh, ideas and ideologies about it. And I don't think there's really any single right answer because it's a crisis, man. We're all suffering, not just breaking, but everything, man. Any industry is having to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's unclear. What we're figuring out though is that there are more things we thought we couldn't do in the past that we can, right? Like online battles and things like that. Like even just last year, can we do an online battle? I've been like, hell no, like that's dumb. But now
Mm-hmm.
it's like, holy crap, like you can do it. So there's been some discovery of new avenues, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know when this thing is gonna end, bro. Like, there's people that are saying like, we should just open up the country, and there's people saying that we should be locked down. Well, here's the thing. I don't think that being locked down indefinitely is feasible, but I also don't think opening everything up right now is good either. The problem is
Mm-mm.
like we're in this situation right now because our leadership failed in making an actual plan. And so now we got people
Mm.
pit against each other in ideology when really it's like
Okay.
there is no right answer. Like we're in a bad situation where neither is really good. We just have to like,
Mm.
you know, keep trying to look for new data, you know. There's people that are supposed to be responsible in doing this, like our government, but they're like in pieces, you know, about this too. So it's just sad, man. That's all I gotta say about that. You
I
know.
got you though, man, Zeshen. Yeah. Yeah, Zeshen, thank you for this though, man. I appreciate it. And you go down as an 100. Let me see. Postpone to next. Is there? Oh, somebody. You know who Jules is? Vigo Jules.
Big Jules, yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, she used to be in Footwork Fanatics.
Yeah. That's right. I was talking,
Yes,
am I talking to the right person? But yeah.
she was saying that she basically she was asking me like when we gonna go on. So yeah, I just want to say real quick, Zeshan, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. You inspire me. Like even when I watch your new steps, I'm trying to figure out like how does his feet move like that? It's B-boy,
I
but it's like
appreciate that, bro.
it's
For sure.
funky though. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funky, but I like that, bro, because it's like you push footwork. You definitely push the envelope to footwork, and I like anybody that can push it, if even if it don't look like mine's. If
Yeah.
footwork can be super creative and it looks fun, and it doesn't look like it got stagnant, that it hasn't grown. I like to see I like to see evolution. I like to see progressiveness, and
For
I
sure.
think you pushed footwork though, bro. And I just want to salute you on that. That's the
Yeah.
reason why I wanted to get you for the interview though, bro. And thank you for taking your time to do this, Zeshan. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, and thank you, bro. Like I'm aware of you too. Like from even years back, I see you like just being involved in the scene, man, highlighting people. Your
Yeah.
show was good, so like respect to you too, man. Thanks for having me.
Okay, Zeshan, man. Thank you.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, peace.